So we're here at the start of the food forest now, and not much of a forest yet, but that's where patience comes in. We are still busy trying to resolve the situation that happened with the waterlogging in the garden beds. We've covered this whole area with soil now. Wherever we have dug out grass to expand on the food forest, we've replaced it over here, and now I'm avidly giving it water every day, and hopefully in a little bit it will take off. We are moving into spring now, so things are going to start growing nicely. But without further ado, let's have a look at what we got going so far. So here behind me, there are 3 pepino melons planted in a row. This first pepino melon here is not doing too good. This was planted too much in the shade. I've pruned it down. Hopefully as spring comes it will do better. This guy has actually got a tiny little pepino on it here, so that's brilliant. And then here's the biggest one with flowers, just no pepinos, but look how beautiful these flowers are. Then on this side here, we got our 2 tamarillo trees, so tree tomatoes. This one has put out flowers here at the top, so we'll see how that goes. The tree is not massive yet. We have had some issues with aphids on this tree, on the trees as well, so I'm trying to go with neem oil diluted down with water, and it does seem to have had an impact. I just have to reapply consistently, which is a little bit frustrating. We got 2 blueberry bushes here. They got a little bit red after the heavy rains as well. They were shot a little bit with the amount of water that came through. And here is a tiny little lychee tree that has been grown from seed. We ate lychees, and I threw a lychee seed out here, and this is what's come up so far. And the other 2 lychee trees we haven't really done fantastically well, so I've let this one grow and we'll see what happens. That would be great. And then there's a smaller tamarillo here behind me. Then starting with some of our new additions, here we have an elderberry tree. These trees were planted out about 4 days ago, so still very, very early. I did give them a little bit of liquid organic fertilizer today, so hopefully that will help with a little bit of the transplant shock. Then I've put a pineapple in the ground here. We'll see how that goes. We still got the trusty orange tree. We've actually eaten 3 oranges. They're not massive though, but the tree is still very small. So we ate 3 oranges. They were very sour, to be honest. However, the oranges we grew ourselves, and hopefully as the tree gets bigger, the oranges will get sweeter as well. This area behind me here is forest that sections that we had already done before. That's sort of established now already. We got the calamondin, we got some catnip around there. We have lavenders planted here, gooseberries, a lemon tree. This is a sacred basil with the most bees on it that I've ever seen a plant have. It is absolutely beautiful. I don't know how much one can see on the camera, but it is buzzing with life. So this has done so well, and it's been fantastic as a pollinator. We've planted a new little flower shrubby there. There's another small gooseberry under the sacred basil. There's strawberries that were supposed to have spread as ground cover. They have just not spread fantastically well, with 2 little chili trees there, and then our 1 Atkins mango, which we are seeing some growth on as well. It's so beautiful when everything starts getting to spring and summer and stuff just starts blooming and blossoming. It's so good. And we live here on a coastal area, so things grow like crazy. So I'm very excited for this coming summer. I think by December, January side, this place is going to look absolutely beautiful. Then over here we got the 2nd Atkins mango. That one's a little bit smaller, but it is planted in a little bit more of a waterlogged area, so I think that has sort of inhibited its growth a little bit. Here we have a variety of lavender. I am beside myself which one it's called. I remember seeing the name and it had a very interesting name. It's got beautiful leaves. So that's here next to this shrub. This is a shrub that we just saw said rare on it, and I thought that was fun, so we got the rare shrub. And moving on further this way, we got another small little gooseberry. That one's busy growing out there. Some more flowers. Here's a kumquat tree, a rose geranium that we had planted. Here is one of the 2 pomegranates. Another small little flower. This is another gooseberry. There's some more lavender, some more pomegranate, another pomegranate tree. We've dug this trench in here because this area does tend to get quite waterlogged. So we figured if it's sort of an attempt at a swale without fully going swale. The food forest hadn't been designed fantastically well to incorporate swales from the start. So I'm going to have a look and see how this does, and then we'll see how we can change it or rectify it with the shortcomings. And then we have hibiscus bush here with the most beautiful flowers. This one's got the one flower on it, and it's got a whole bunch more that's going to come out soon. And through all of this ground here, we've used a lot of our own compost as well, and just sort of given it a half layer over there. And I had about 30 packets of seed, and I wanted to individually go do the seed, and I started with it, and the kids wanted to help, and it just it did not seem feasible after a while. So we ended up taking about 27 of the packets of seeds, tearing everything open, throwing it inside a plastic container, and then we just sprinkled it across the entire garden. So it's going to be anyone's guess what pops up where, and I think there's a little bit of excitement in that. Plus, a lot of the stuff is vegetables and things that will grow fruit and then die back, so we can figure something more permanent out as we go along. Then on this side here, we have a star fruit tree that I got. I'm so excited for the star fruit. So that's the star fruit tree. Here's another hibiscus bush here. And then over here we have our lime tree, which I thought was dead and gone, but these guys started coming up a couple weeks ago. This thing has not had leaves for such a long time, and suddenly, boom. So I'm very excited about that. We got some more flowers this side, and then here is a saber mango tree. That is the new mango tree that we got. I tried to we'd try a different variety. I've tried to mound this one up nicely as well, because this area does tend to get quite waterlogged as well. And then here is the cherry tree we've always had. The cherry tree hasn't really ever produced any cherries. It was planted here by the previous owners, and we've heard stone fruit in coastal regions don't do very well. Through all of this, when we moved here, I knew absolutely nothing about putting a plant in the ground, so I've just sort of asked around as I've gone along to see what would work, what wouldn't work. I've tried to plant things to see what would work and what wouldn't work. So little bit by little bit, we're busy getting there. But the cherry tree does produce fruits. They just never ripen. They fall off and rot too soon. So we'll see if we create some form of a microclimate there using the food forest, if there'd be any improvement there. And then over here we have a lychee tree. It's also starting with some new leaves. This one has struggled to grow though, so we're going to see how that goes. And then here is a salvia shrub, and we still got our banana trees down here with those little flowers. We got a curry leaf tree. We're expanding out further that way. Here's more banana trees. Here's a tea bush, the mulberry tree that should be getting leaves sometime soon. I see it's got nodes for the leaves on all of its branches, so hopefully the leaves are going to start coming out soon. Then here's another lavender bush, more banana trees, the biggest one of the banana trees as well. And this is the apple guava hybrid that has grown beautifully and produced the most amazing tasting fruits, even for still such a small tree. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen once the tree gets big, and it is growing very, very fast. This is from here to there is new growth in the last couple months. So, and still it's been bearing fruit all the way along. So very excited, and the fruits taste absolutely amazing. Here we have a blueberry bush that died back a little bit, but it has got some flowers on it now. So we'll see. There's leaves coming out at the bottom. So I'm not holding my breath on that one though. Then we got turmeric planted there. Some more flowers, and then another one of the apple guavas. This one just hasn't grown as well as the first one did, but it has produced fruit nonetheless, just much smaller, and the growth is much slower. So that is basically what we have done now. And now the next step that we're looking at, so this is basically the pathway. When we start here at the top, then it comes from behind me here, and you can go either through in here or turn around, go towards the compost heaps and those trees there. With that section, here's more pathway, one going out to the tap this side, and then a little curve here to go between these two trees. And then the idea is now where we have placed these stones, that's where other fruit trees will go. And then where the two pieces of wood are, that's where it's going to be dug between trees. So this will come down through this side. You'll walk through here, there'll be a tree here, a tree over there, and then this will all be an open pathway. Move on to a tree there, a tree down there, and all the way along tree there. And the idea is to push it all the way out until about down there. We have the dam over here that we're going to extend out to the bottom of the garden, and then I'm going to put a good pump in there and a nice water feature to circulate the water a little bit, and the food forest will stretch out that way. And then we would like to set the garden beds up somewhere around this area, and then have that whole top section there for the kids to play, and an open grass patch, and I'll build a little jungle gym for them and everything. So that's where we're at the moment. So things are looking up. I was very disheartened a couple of weeks ago when the garden bed situation happened with all the rain washing the soil away, but the growth in the garden has lifted my spirits, along with a lot of the buds and the leaves and all the flowers. So I'm very excited for what's to come, and we're gonna go get 5 more fruit trees in this week and throw down some more seeds, plant some more shrubs, and grow as we go along. And we're going to keep making mistakes, and then we're going to keep learning from them. So yeah.